Welcome to Hollywood Deli. I'm your host, Blue. So listen, my hair is up because I'm ready to go to bed. But I had to talk to y'all about Sister Wives. We got to talk about this. This was good. So this is the Tell Nothing part. I think this is part three. I think it's part three. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. It is. It is what it is. It's late. So we got to finally get Janelle to talk about some things. And I'm not going to cover the whole entire thing. It's too time consuming. I'm going to talk about the things that just stood out to me. So Janelle talked about how Cody was manipulating things and somehow has finagled into telling the family that she was the one spearheading how the money went and things like that. And so now people are talking about bringing out receipts. Okay. So let's talk about the money. So Janelle said that she can prove that she was not in control of the money and that Cody and Robin were spending the most money and a lot of the family money, and that she still has those records. And so when that conversation came up, Cody was trying to, he backpedaled because he was quiet and he was just saying, it all evened out. It all evened out. That's what he kept trying to say. And it didn't even out. He even tried to insinuate that Robin, the most selfish sister wife of all of them, gave up her he went so far back. He went to when they first got on TV as if that check was big. That she didn't even see any of the money when the first sister wife check came through, which I do not believe because she had an apartment. And how was an unemployed bitch like her paying for an apartment? You were spending the family money on her. Bullshit. So then it goes to Mary, and Mary was like, "Look, people love to say that I was holding money away from the family." She said Cody went so far as accusing her of not giving money to the family. And like a dum dum, she released her financial records to him to prove to him that the narrative that he's putting out that she was selfish and that she wasn't giving money to the family was not true. And she said once he saw that, he was just like, he backed off. He's like, okay. Once he realized the paper trail that she was displaying that she gave. And then she also talked about how, like, the family fund for the kids' colleges, it didn't pay for Leon's college, and that she paid for it, and that she got the financial records to prove that she paid for the college. And Cody was just like, he paused and he didn't have no comeback. He had no comeback. He was just like, well, Robin's money paid for Mary's house. And I'm just like, what? What? Robin's money never paid for anybody else but Robin. We know that, but we know that everybody else's money paid for Robin. Hence why she held on to that $30,000 debt when y'all were trying to get finance for these houses so that the family would pay for it. That's how they worked it. He probably told Robin, "Listen, don't worry about that debt. I'm going to get the family to pay for it. It'll be fine." And that's exactly what happened. And so Cody's disparity in everything is starting to come out and show even more, and the sister wives are not holding back. And they're being honest for once about how Cody was taken from the family fund and using a lot of the family money to buy quote unquote assets that they were not privy to. And Mary even talked about, so then there was the conversation about the land, which is an asset, right? Mary said that she brought up the fact of how the land was being divided up and with the craziness that it was, and how she was scolded for bringing it up and told, "Why are you worrying about that? You shouldn't be worried about that." And then she finally told the truth and she said it was Robin and Cody that scolded her. So this whole "I'm shy" bullshit that Robin tries to run and Cody tries to run, they are in cahoots. The more the sister wives talk, the more we get to see how much in cahoots these two were and how they, in my opinion, planned everything that happened in this family that was planned. Because I think Robin said that she saw that other families, they divorced the wife and then he marries another one, and that happened in those other families and it tore them apart. So why would you want it to do it? And that's exactly what happened because you knew it would happen. That's what you wanted. You wanted Cody and all the resources to yourself. So then, the conversation comes up, you know about Cody and his treatment of his wives. And so they talk about I'm a little out of order, but it's okay. We're just gonna cover the things as they're coming to me. The conversation of luggage. And you know, the luggage thing, everybody wants to dismiss it and make it seem so small and menial. And even the martyr Mary, once again, why are we complaining about Cody and comparing Cody to David? We're on a reality show, Mary. That's what we do here. We're commiserating. And you're because you're not commiserating. We don't want you on the show. We really don't want you on the show, but you're here. You're here to get a paycheck. And why would we don't want to hear about David. We want to hear about why she left Cody, because she left Cody for a reason and we want to hear it. And she knows we're oldest. So she's going to tell us why she left him. And so we're going to talk about things, petty things like the luggage. It's not petty, but it's symbolic. Like Janelle said, it's symbolic of the type of man that Cody was. Cody was the type of man that when you went to a hotel, he would put his luggage up on the luggage rack, and you would have to put your luggage on the floor. It was symbolic of the kind of husband that he was to the OG3. But Robin said that she got the luggage rack. She didn't want to answer it. She tried to make it seem like it was stupid because she knew that if she told us what she told us was that she got the rack, that it signified more of what was there that she and Cody was trying to say was not there, which was a bias and the favoritism. They're trying to act like it doesn't exist, and it does. And that was symbolic of that. The fact that she was getting the luggage rack, he held her in such high regard that he would put himself second. And when he was with the OG3, he put himself first and them second. And so that's where the luggage conversation come up. And so he's all like, oh, this is just sour graping. And I wish they would be just get happy. No, it's not about them being happy. They're sharing to us the experience of you and what you did to them behind the scenes to lead to what's happening today. You don't want them talking about that because you don't want to be held accountable. You want to just sweep it underneath the rug. Okay, she's married to somebody else. Now she could talk. She don't have to talk about me because that's what he wants. He wants Christine to focus on David and not tell us what happened. We want the backstory, Cody, and we're gonna get it because our queen, fucking Christine, is going to give it to us, and you're not gonna get to sweep this shit underneath the rug. Men love to do that shit. Toxic, terrible men like him love to sweep things underneath the rug and want women to remain classy. No, we want petty, commiserating Janelle and Christine. I vote them for president. Anyway, so we want that. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to hear. And we're going to get it. The martyr, Mary, the brown noser, always wants to kiss up to Cody because he called her a week before the taping. And that's why we're getting what we see today. And he throws her underneath the bus, makes her seem like the most toxic human being he's ever met. And she's like, oh, I don't want to complain. I don't want to do this. You know what, Mary? It's because you didn't complain, because you didn't make a stink, and that you bow down to Robin, that you are in the position that you're in now, and why he just took from you into the very very end. And then he was just like, this is pathetic. I'm done taking from her. He felt bad for you because you were so pathetic to him that you were trying to buy his love. And Robin didn't show any care for you. Robin told him, keep working it out so she can keep giving us her money. That's what Robin wanted you for. And what you saw in this non reciprocating of Robin was that she didn't really fuck with you like that. She just wanted your money and she wanted you to fund her lifestyle. That's what she wanted from all of y'all. And so when Mary talks about her relationship with Robin and how it wasn't reciprocated and why she pulled back from Robin, Robin tries to make it seem like Mary did something wrong because she pulled back. And Robin, you don't get to take everything from a woman, and then when she's out the door and she's leaving, pat her on the back, give her a bullshit ass junk journal, and say, and then call her up when she's out of town when y'all are living in the same town and you can't call her and hang out. Oh, let's hang out together. No, Mary clocked that. Mary clocked that, and she said, no, I'm not hanging out with my husband's wife. I'm sorry, I'm not hanging out with my ex husband's wife. I'm not doing that. You had ample time to hang with that lady when she was living in the same state and city as you, and now you want to be friends? No, nobody's checking for that fake effort. She saw right through you. She exposed it, and she wanted you to know when she told you what she told you that she wasn't hanging with her ex-husband's wife. She was like, "I see what you're doing, bitch. It ain't gonna happen. You're not going to keep stringing me along and making me think that we have a friendship or a relationship that we don't have. It never is going to happen." Mary even talked about how, like, when they were living in Vegas, that their relationship drifted apart. You know why your relationship drifted apart, Mary? Because you gave her what she wanted. You gave up your marriage. You didn't try to get alimony or spouse support. Or child support, because I think your child was still a minor. I'm not 100%. And you gave her the legal marriage. She was done with you. She had got everything she wanted out of you. She didn't need you no more. That's why you saw the distance. Like, once they buttered you up and Cody gave you a mercy fuck and a little piece of cheap jewelry, I'm sure, because he only spends top dollar on Robin. They was done with you in Vegas. That's why you got catfish, because he isolated you. He iced you out. They got what they wanted out of you. And so when you got catfish, they was encouraging you to talk to that catfish because I believe they set it up. I still to this day believe that Cody and Robin set it up. This is how conniving they are. And they set that trap because they knew Mary was lonely and they knew Mary wanted affection and attention. And so they, I believe they put this catfish on her because the catfish knew Robin's best friend at the time. And so I believe they targeted and I think they paid the catfish. And I'm surprised the catfish hasn't come out with it yet. But I believe they paid the catfish Mary, so that they could use that as an excuse to ice her out and to push her out the family, because Mary was a martyr. She was loyal, but she was also naive and easily taken advantage of. And so he's still taking advantage of Mary to this day, because this is why we getting the Mary who's not really giving it up in the one-on-ones. So anyway, back to Janelle. So Janelle, our queen, called it like she said. Gospel according to Janelle. She believes Cody is a narcissist. She believes that there was a lot of love bombing that happened that he did, and then he would tear them down, love bomb them again, and it was a vicious cycle, she said. And so, of course, Suki's like, you think Cody's a narcissist, because she wanted to pin that on Janelle, and Janelle said, no, I just believe that my experience of him was similar to a narcissist. And Janelle, that he's a narcissist, but it was nice to hear another a sister wife finally say it. And Mary, even though it seemed like she was getting close to Janelle, I wanted to point that out. She said that as far as like Coyote Pass, because that conversation had came up, I want to get back to that. She said that she was just like she ain't know who to trust. She don't. There was a lot of finger pointing. Janelle pointing fingers at them, and Robin pointing fingers at Cody. And I was just like, how you gonna say that again when Janelle was sharing information with you? Yeah, I can understand not fully trusting Janelle, but she actually looked out for you in the end. And she didn't have to do it. She could have just been focused on herself. So she gonna say, "Well, I don't know who to trust, so I don't know. I just want to get my money in, so I don't have to deal with none of y'all." So Mary was done with Janelle. She was done with Cody. She ain't want nothing to do with any of them. And Cody was so taken aback, and like when he was pulled to the carpet, he was just like, there's some things that happen that I don't want to talk about in regards to there, because the conversation of affection and PDA came up. And I think Cody was kind of jealous that Christine and David was showing so much PDA because Robin doesn't want to do it with him. Robin thinks Cody is extreme in his affection and over the top. And I think Robin knows that the reason why he wants to do it on camera is to rub it in the faces of the other wives. But she doesn't want to be a part of that because she knows it's cringy. She made a comment about all that spit and tongue swapping. And I'm starting to think not only is Robin a hypochondriac, she's also a germaphobe, because her saying that reveals to me that she was the person that made those COVID rules. Because why are you concerned about swapping a spit and tongue with a man that's your husband, the father of your children? That just seems weird to me, that comment that came out of her mouth. And She definitely threw Cody under the bus and said he's over the top. I don't know if Robin likes Cody like she says. I think she's playing a role. I don't think she believes he's her soulmate. I don't think Robin believes in love anymore. I believe that this relationship is transactional. I give him all the sex and um, love bomb him and make him think he's this great person, stroke his ego, and he gives me the money and the resources that I need to live. I don't think Robin is in love with him. I don't. I think Cody is more in love with Robin than Robin is in with him. And then back to that to the luggage rack thing. Robin said something about how she would take the rack. So I think that I don't necessarily know that he was being complimentary or not even complimentary catering to Robin in that instance right there because she would just go ahead and she said put her own luggage on there. So I think she's doing a lot of lying. I don't think he is this gentleman that he's portraying on the camera with her. I think there's a lot of problems behind closed doors with them. I believe that he puts on a show just same way he put on the show when the show first came on with the other wives and wanted us all to believe he was in love with each and every one of those wives. I believe that Robin's over him, and I think that he's exhausted her. But I also believe that she is happy to hear the other wives comparing themselves to her. That gives her what because I believe Robin's a narcissist too. That gives her fix, her supply. Her supply is hearing the anguish and the comparing by Christine and the other wives to her. That makes her feel like she's important. And he thinks that everybody is jealous of this bum. She brought no value to the family at all. She just took. And now he thinks that Jen, Mary's friend, who spoke the truth on Robin and how much of a shitty friend she was to Mary, that she's just jealous. Why would she be jealous? Because he says she wants to be close to Mary. She is close to Mary. Robin is not. And Robin doesn't care about having a relationship with Mary because when the conversation came up, do you want to be a better friend than Mary? She was like, sure. But there was nothing behind the sure. And then she immediately went to the victim role. But I felt like it wasn't reciprocated either on her end. Yeah, you could feel. And then she wants to say there was a recency bias in regards to the conversation of talking about Cody. And it's like, no, you're using recency bias when you're trying to say that there was no reciprocation by Mary. That was new. Mary had been kissing your ass and catering to you and Cody for years, over a decade. So for you to say that Mary didn't put the effort in either is some bullshit. And that's why Mary don't fuck with you. That's exactly why Mary don't fuck with you. And that's why nobody messes with Robin. Nobody at all. And then the conversation was um about there was a conversation about Christine, how she was starving for affection, and Christine talked about her and Cody's sex life, and Cody said before, money and sex weren't on the table, and now it is. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that the women are talking about where the money went and where the sex went. So Christine talked about how like Cody stopped dicking her down, and that when Robin came in, they was pretty much done, and that the sex was apathetic. It was just an act for a need. So he would just hit it when he needed it. He didn't really want to, but once he had the money and the opportunities to attract a Robin, he was done with hitting, busting it down with Christine because he can now have sex with somebody he wants to have sex with. And so she knew that Cody wasn't into her, and she believes in the beginning of the relationship that it was a lot of fun. It was a fun relationship. It wasn't so much of a loving relationship. She says she didn't notice that the love was lacking until Robin came along, and that's when she saw like, oh, so you do have this in you. You just not giving it to me. And so she probably fought to try to get it, and he was just fighting with her and wasn't going to give it to her. And they all saw how this man, treated them in comparison to her. And it was only a matter of time before they all left. It was just a matter of time. And I love how Christine, calls out Cody and Robin and says how like Mary has great friends that are calling it like they see it, and they see how Mary kept no, not Mary, but Robin kept Mary in that miserable relationship with Cody, and how she wasn't a good friend, and that a good friend wouldn't do that to you. They would tell you, look, your marriage is sucky, get out of it. And I just love that Christine is just calling it like she see it. Mary just jealous because she ain't got the balls to do it. You still a pick me, and wishing that Cody would bring you back, would come back to you until he, and then even Cody said that he wouldn't talk about certain things about his, or he, no, he didn't say he wouldn't talk about it. He said that he won't be affectionate and on camera, I guess, to the public until Janelle and Mary have remarried because of the hurt that was surrounded by PDA and whatnot. And I think he's just bullshit. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, leave you 5-star rating, and y'all have a good night.